Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the CALDO webinar for Colombia. We are very excited in having the opportunity to be able to touch base with so many of you in Colombia. We had a very successful registration for this webinar, which makes us extremely happy, since it's a sign that you regard Canada as an interesting place to conduct your studies. Today's webinar will focus on we'll have three different sections. The first part, that will take roughly 30 minutes, will consist of a presentation that we will do about the CALDO Universities and the CALDO services for candidates. We will also have the opportunity to have a testimony of a Colombian student that did his PhD at Western University, Luis Luque, that has been very kind in offering his time to share his experience of studying in Canada with all of us today. So at the end of the presentation that I will be giving, Luis will be able to give his testimony of how was it to study in Canada, and some information that you will certainly consider useful if you're thinking on studying in Canada. At the end, we will also have a period for questions and answers. The questions and answers, I will ask you to use the chat box that you have on the right side of your screen to write your questions there. Questions can be written in Spanish or in English, and I will answer them as you will be placing questions. So it's on a first basis order. So let's start with an overview of the services of, or in this case, I will start on a very interesting thing that probably some of you have realized: why the name CALDO. CALDO stands for the consortium of Alberta, Laval, Dalhousie, and Ottawa universities. So these were the first 4 universities that decided to create this group that now has 9 universities. So at the time that was created, there were only 4, but now we represent 9 universities. And just to give you an idea, CALDO is not a private institution. CALDO belongs to the universities. So this means that CALDO is basically an office that the university decided to create because they would like to have a stronger presence in Latin America. This webinar, some people I notice are asking, will be recorded and you will have access to it afterwards. So tomorrow morning you will have access to the recordings of the webinar and also to the actual presentation in PDF. Just for the record, during my presentation, I will not be able to answer questions. So please keep your questions until the end, because during the presentation, I will not be able to answer any questions. So the first thing that we will start is why studying in Canada. Canada, as most of you know, is usually known for a country that it's tolerant, that it's multicultural, that it's friendly towards its immigrants, and all of those things are true. Canada is a country that it's very recent, and it has a huge multicultural aspect to it. You will find people from all over the world in any Canadian city. And obviously, when you're attending a university in Canada, you will also find people from all over the world. And that's something that will enrich the experience of the students studying here, in that they are able to make friendships and connections with people from very different places. One other interesting aspect about Canada is that it has two official languages, so French and English are both official languages. So if by any chance you feel more comfortable in French or in English, there is certainly an option for you to study in the language that you feel more comfortable with. Another interesting and relevant aspect of Canada is the fact that if you have a Canadian diploma, you will have the opportunity to be recognized everywhere in the world for your diploma. That means that Canadian education, it's basically recognized anywhere in the world as long as you have studied in a university, obviously, that it's recognized by the Ministry of Education, like the case of any CALDO University. One other interesting aspect about the university and mainly the research that it's done at the university is that Canada is one of the countries that invests the most in research and development. This means that all of the universities have usually state-of-the-art laboratories, and you will find that you will have all the necessary conditions to undertake the research that you're interested in doing. Looking at the Canadian academic system, you will find that it's pretty similar to most of the countries from South America. So once you finish the undergraduate degree, usually the bacharelado, you will have the opportunity to undertake a master program. The master program in Canada can have two different types. So it can be the thesis-based master, which means that it's a master with a project in the second year, a research project, or it can be what it's called a professional master or course-based masters, mestrado profesional. That it's a master that it's more based on taking courses than in doing research. So instead of having a full second year where you do research, you usually have just 1 year where you're able to take courses, and at the end of the year or at the end of 1.5 years, you will have your diploma. After the master degree, you will have the opportunity to do a doctoral program. A PhD will usually take 4 years, and you will have the first and second year usually with classes, and then you will have the third and fourth year only to do research. You can obviously start doing research earlier than the third year, but usually on those last 2 years you don't have classes. You're just doing your research project. One of the interesting things about the CALDO universities is that since they are research intensive universities, meaning that they are very focused on research, they have a huge they have a huge reputation in terms of world rankings, and a lot of the programs that they offer are recognized worldwide. In 2016, so early in this year, this company, QS, did a ranking of which were the subjects that were the most relevant in terms of universities all over the world. And the 9 CALDO universities have a total of 99 programs in the top 150 programs in the world, which gives an idea of the relevance of the programs and the type of education that you will receive in our universities. Tomorrow, when I'll send you the presentation, you will be able to click on this link. This link will take you to the list of all the programs that our universities offer that are within this top 150. So afterwards, you will be able to confirm which are the programs that we are talking about. Looking at the map of Canada, you will see that the Canadian universities are spread all across the territory. So obviously, as some of you will know, Canada, being the second largest country in the world, has a lot of territory. So that basically means that the universities, although they seem that they are close together, they are a bit far apart. So obviously, in this section of Canada, it's basically ice and snow. So you won't find universities, or at least you won't find a lot of universities here. So our universities are focused on the provinces of Alberta, where we have 2 universities, in the provinces of Saskatchewan, where we have the university with the same name, universities in the province of Ontario. This is the province where you will find the most universities. You will find Waterloo, Western Queens, and Ottawa. Université Laval, you will find in the province of Quebec, so the French-speaking province. And Dalhousie University will find it in the province of Nova Scotia. Something that it's important to know about our universities is that they are what it's called comprehensive universities. Comprehensive universities mean that they will offer programs in all areas of knowledge. So if you're interested in a program in social sciences, in engineering, in exact sciences, in medical science, in dentistry, business, whatever, you will find definitely a program in our universities. For you to have an idea, our universities offer around 1,500 master programs and around 1,000 PhD programs in total. So let's give an overview of which are the characteristics of our universities. First university, University of Alberta. The University of Alberta, it's located in the province with the same name. It's located in the capital of that province, the city of Edmonton. It is ranked in the 91st place in the world for the faculties of life science and medicine, and its program of pharmacy and pharmacology is listed in the 31st best programs in the world. So as you can see, this is a university that has a huge reputation in the areas of medicine and pharmacy. However, the University of Alberta is widely recognized as being consistently among the best 100 universities in the world in general. The university is home to some of the best researchers in the areas of virus-based diseases, and also hosts the laboratory or the National Institute for Nanotechnology. Some other areas of excellency of the University of Alberta are also ranked here. I would highlight this area of energy, since that in Alberta is where the oil companies are located, because that's where the oil sands are located. So the universities of this province have developed a huge expertise in the fields of extracting oil and trying to come up with clean ways of extracting and refining oil. So the University of Alberta has a huge expertise in this field. One other university that has a lot of expertise in the fields of energy is the University of Calgary, that it's located in the same province as Alberta. For you to have an idea, the city of Calgary and the city of Edmonton are roughly about 1.5 hours away, so they are considered to be very close for Canada. And once again, the University of Alberta is regarded as an excellent university for the areas of life sciences and medicine. It's among the 100 best universities in the world for medical research, and they are at the forefront of neurosurgery, joint repair, and stem cell production. Other fields of expertise of Calgary are the ones mentioned here. And for more information, you will be able to consult the information that you will receive tomorrow. Tomorrow I will send you also some materials with more information on the profiles of each of our universities. So today I'm just giving you an overview of the expertise of each university. Moving on to Dalhousie University. Dalhousie University is located in the city of Halifax. The city of Halifax is just beside the Atlantic Ocean. So because of its proximity with the Atlantic Ocean, this university has developed a huge expertise in the areas of ocean research and sustainable ways of exploring the ocean, mainly fishing and pollution. The Aquatron laboratory is one of the best research laboratories in the world. And the University of Dalhousie has also explored other areas of expertise, such as energy in terms of cost-effective batteries, and they have established a partnership with the American company Tesla to try to develop low-cost, long-term batteries for cars. Other areas of research excellency for Dalhousie are listed here. And I would highlight also the areas of information science and agriculture and food technology. Université Laval. Université Laval is a French-speaking university. And the university is located in a wonderful city of Quebec City. This is one of the most beautiful cities that you can find in North America. It combines European architecture and it has a huge student environment throughout the whole city. This is what a university that has a huge expertise in the areas of forestry. And they also are home to some very interesting laboratories, state-of-the-art in Canada, in the areas of optics, geomatics, and climate change. Other areas of expertise of Laval are also agriculture, cancer research, genomics, physics, and economics, and policy administration in general. The University of Ottawa. The University of Ottawa is the largest bilingual university in North America. What this means is that they are the university that offers the most programs in either English or in French. So if you are interested, for example, in studying in French, but you would like to live in an English-speaking city, Ottawa is definitely the best choice for you. The university has a huge expertise in the areas of medicine, and they are home to the Max Planck University of Ottawa Center for Extreme and Quantum Photonics. That it's one of the best laboratories on this field for North America. And they also have other state-of-the-art laboratories in the areas of anti-vibration, construction, and nanomaterials or nanofabrication. Other areas of research related to molecular and environmental science, policy making in general. Since Ottawa is the capital city of Canada, the university has developed also a huge expertise in the areas that relate to political studies and policy making. Next, Queen's University. Queen's University is located in the city of Kingston. The city of Kingston is halfway between Ottawa and Toronto. So the city of the University of Queen's, it's one of the best universities in the world in the areas of geography and area science. They are also home of special research centers in the areas of fuel cell research, high-performance computing, and health services and policy research. And the University of Queen's was recently in the news because in 2015, a professor won the Nobel Prize for Physics. So it's no news that one of their research excellencies is particle astrophysics, because this was related to the area that they won the Nobel Prize. They also have a huge and excellent reputation in cancer research, sustainable energy, and social issues. The University of Saskatchewan is located in the city of Saskatoon. The University of Saskatchewan is located in the province of Canada that is considered to be the barn of Canada. So it's where most of the agricultural production is undertaken. And because of that, they have developed a huge expertise in the areas of agriculture, food science, and crop development. So as you can see here, the university has developed more than 400 commercial crop varieties. They are considered to be among the 150 best world universities in the fields of agricultural research, and they are also an excellent university ranked within the first 50 in the world for veterinary sciences. They also have one of the state-of-the-art laboratories for synchrotron sciences, or Canadian light source. That's the name of the laboratory. Other areas of research that they have experience and huge reputation are water security, energy, and what they call One Health, that it's an integrated approach to both human, animal, and environmental health. Moving on to the University of Waterloo. University of Waterloo. It's located in the city with the same name. And this is a university that has a lot of excellent areas in different fields. So they are consistently ranked among the 50 best universities in the world for engineering and technology in general. They were recently considered to be the 26th best university of the world in the areas of computer science, the 29th in mathematics, the 45th in geography and area studies. So as you can see, this is a leading university worldwide in several areas. Actually, Waterloo is becoming what it's called the Silicon Valley of the North. A lot of high-tech companies are opening offices in Waterloo because of the university. So you will find offices from Google, from Facebook in the city, because they have they want to use all the resources and the students of the university to develop their projects. If you know the brand BlackBerry, the people that initiated the brand were also people that were connected to the university. Beside information technology, they also have a state-of-the-art water institute, and their research areas of excellency are listed here. Finally, Western University. Western University is located in the city of London, Canada. The city of London, for you to have an idea, is roughly 50 kilometers away from Waterloo, and probably an hour and a half away from Toronto. This university is ranked among the 100 best in the world in the areas of psychology and business research, and among the 150 best universities in the areas of geography, medicine, statistics, and chemical engineering. In 2015, there was a ranking from the Bloomberg Business Week magazine that listed the MBA of Western as being the best in the world in terms of MBAs outside of the United States. Other areas of research, or at least other areas of expertise of Western, are in the areas of brain and mind, or basically in the areas of neuroscience. So after this brief overview of the CALDO Universities, some of the main aspects that you should consider also when applying to one university is what type of support you will receive from the university. One of the good things about all of our universities is that due to their experience in receiving international students, there is a lot of services that are available to students that facilitate the success of an international student when studying in Canada. One of the things that it's important for you to realize is that even if you're struggling with the language or with writing in English or in French, there are services in the universities that will help you in achieving success more readily and more quickly than what you might be expecting. So there are support services to help, for example, students write in English, scientific writing in English. You also will find services of counseling. So if students are not coping well with being away from home, there are supporting services to help students feel more comfortable with studying abroad. You will also have the international office at the universities that will have people that will be able to assist you with more administrative questions, such as how to open a bank account, how to get a bus pass, where can I find for accommodation, even questions related to day-to-day living. They will be able to provide you assistance with basic things like what sort of shop is best to buy groceries without spending too much money. You know, things like that may seem very abstract at the beginning. You will find support definitely from people at the university. Early this year, there was a top of universities that was a top 200 of universities that related to employability. So basically, they were trying to assess which were the universities for which it would be more likely that you will find a job faster if you had studied in one of these universities. And we are very proud to have 4 of the 9 CALDO universities in this top that it's a world ranking. University of Waterloo, Alberta, Queens, and Calgary were mentioned there as being 4 universities that were identified as having higher rates of employability among their students. Obviously, this does not mean that the other universities you will have trouble finding a job. This is just an indicator of the quality of the universities that are part of CALDO. So now moving on a bit more to the CALDO services. So like I said before, CALDO is not a private company. CALDO is part of the universities, and CALDO was created because the universities felt that for students that are applying from another country, it might be very overwhelming to find out, for example, all the information that they need to know by themselves. So they decided to set up the CALDO office as a support structure for students that are thinking and studying in one of our universities. And what we do is basically we aggregate all the information from the 9 universities into one single office, into basically one single email. Basically, the way that we work is by sending an email to our office with a question related to how to study in one of our universities or information on a specific program, we will be able to give you detailed information on a series of questions that might relate to how to apply, what are the requirements to apply to a specific program, how can I find a supervisor for a particular program, and we will be able to give you this for all 9 universities at the same time. In addition, if you are thinking on applying to a scholarship, so for example, the CALCIENCIAS scholarship that is currently open in Colombia, that aims to sponsor students to do a doctoral program abroad, we are also able, in these cases, to submit a pre-application to our universities to see if they will be able to admit you based on your academic records, and also to see if a supervisor that you have chosen with the help of the CALDO office would be able to admit you in his PhD program. Let's see a bit more information on how this works. So first of all, the thing that you will need to know is that the CALDO service is free. Anyone can use the service. Anyone can use the service to get information on programs. So you don't need to be thinking on applying to a scholarship to get information on programs from our universities. But if you want to submit a free pre-application, which means that your academic information will be sent to all of our universities, you will need to be considering to apply to a scholarship like the CALCIENCIAS that I mentioned. So what do you need to submit this pre-application? So the first thing is obviously to let us know if you are thinking to apply to any scholarship. Okay, so send us information on, I'm thinking on applying to CALCIENCIAS scholarship, and I'm thinking on applying to a program in a PhD in dentistry. Okay, so I'm interested in doing a PhD in dentistry. I'm thinking on applying to a scholarship from CALCIENCIAS to do my doctoral program. So the scholarship is only for PhDs. There are CALCIENCIAS does not have currently a scholarship for master programs. So if that's your case, then you will need to gather the documents that are here: your academic CV, a language proficiency test. So if it's English, the TOEFL, IBT, or the IELTS academic. If it's French, it can be the TFI, the DOF, or the DELF. Transcripts from your original, the transcripts in the original language. So if it's in Spanish, or if the university already issues them in English, that's perfect. If not, you will need to translate the Spanish transcripts into English or French. So the transcripts are, I think, what you call certificado de notas. It's where you will have all the courses that you took and the grades of each course. So we don't need the diploma. We don't need the document where it states that the student so-and-so have completed an undergraduate degree in this area. That's not the document that we want. What we want is the document with all the courses that you did. And also a statement of research interest. This is basically a 1 to 2 pages document where you will talk a bit about what the type of research and the type of project that you are interested in doing. Once you have gathered all these documents, you will need to identify a supervisor. So identifying a supervisor, you can do it with the help of our office. So all the universities have listed their professors online. So what we will do is we will redirect you to the page, to the source of information, where you will see all the professors and their areas of research. And you will then look at the profile of each professor, and you will identify the one that is doing research in the area that most interests you. And you will submit this information via our platform at apply.caldo.ca. By submitting this to this platform, we will then send all the information to the universities, and the universities will be able to contact the professors to see if they are interested and willing to accept you, and to see if your documents meet all the minimum requirements for admission. If you receive positive replies from universities, and you can receive from more than one, because you can apply to all of our 9 universities if they all offer the course that you're interested. For example, for engineering, all of our universities offer programs in mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering. So if you receive a positive reply from more than one university, you will then need to choose to define which is the university that you really want to submit a formal application. It's important to realize that this pre-application is not a formal application. This is just the initial stage for you to be able to see if you are eligible to apply. But then you will need to formally apply in the website of the university that has given you a positive feedback. Okay. You will find a lot of this information that I just mentioned on our website, www.caldo.ca. In our website, we have a very useful tool, Browse Our Programs, where you will be able to enter keywords such as, for example, electrical or mechanical, and you will see all the programs that are offered in those fields. Okay. You will also have the Start the Application process, that it's the button that will take you to the pre-application form that I was just mentioning in the previous slide. In here, you have a button called Resources. This has a lot of information that can give you an idea of how to submit your pre-application. So you will have the CALDO application guide, you will have videos on how to submit documents, and you will have also informational material on the profile of all of our universities. So finally, I'm just going to give you the address of the place where you can find the information on the Colciencias Scholarship for PhDs. So if you are thinking on applying to the scholarship from Colciencias, you will definitely need to go into this link and read the documents that are here. The documents explain how the scholarship works, how to apply. One thing that it's important for you to realize is that you will need an admission letter from the university to apply to the scholarship. So it's essential that if you are thinking to apply, you will start contacting the universities right away, universities, or in this case, CALDO, so that you can have enough time to get an admission letter. So just for your records, this call is open until the last day of June. And finally, I will leave here my email address, graduate.coordinator@caldo.ca, for any questions that you may have. So you can contact me directly to this email, and I will be the one that will provide you all the information that we can gather related to programs and how to apply to the universities. So feel free to send me an email, and I will try to obviously reply as best as I can. So I will now move on to the second stage of our presentation. So like I said, we have a very special guest, Louise Luke, that it's a student that did his PhD at the University of Western in Canada, so Western University. Louise was kind enough to share his time with us, and he will be giving a testimony of what was like to study in Canada and some of the things that he obviously found interesting, and other things that might be challenges for students that are coming from abroad. So Louise, if you are hearing me, please feel free to join us. Louise will be able to speak in Spanish. So go ahead, Louise. Thank you. Hello, Luis. Can you hear us? So I'm assuming that Luis is not able to connect his microphone. So let's give it a few minutes to see if we can hear Luis. In the meantime, I will just ask you, if you have questions, to start asking them, because we can start asking some questions, and eventually, if we are able to have audio, we will be able to. So just I'm a bit confused. I don't know if some people are hearing Luis, because by some reason I'm not able to hear him. So just I noticed that there's a question from Diego Rincon. If there's any age limit to apply. So Diego, there is no age limit to apply. There is no age limit to apply. To the CALDO University, there is no age limit to apply. Some scholarships, they have some age limit that they might require their candidates to be of a certain age, but I don't think that that's the case with the Consciency Scholarship. Either way, I would always advise everyone to read the terms of the scholarship and the regulations, because that's where you will find all the information about the minimum requirements to apply. So I think we can now hear Luis. Hello, Luis. Thank you for.
Hi. How can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay, so great. So am I good to go?
Yes. Feel free, Luis, and please feel free to speak in Spanish. Thank you so much.
Okay, will do. Buenas noches. Si me pueden oír, bueno, pues ahí dirán en el chat. Bueno, como Paulo dijo, mi nombre es Luis Luque. Yo estudio Ingeniería Química y Microbiología en los Andes, en Bogotá. De ahí hice una pasantía en Cenicafé, en Manizales, y de ahí entonces decidí venir a estudiar acá a Canadá, en la Universidad de Western Ontario, en donde pues hice mi doctorado en Ingeniería Química y Bioquímica, y yo me especializo en biocombustibles. Después de terminar mi doctorado en noviembre del año pasado, pues empecé con mi postdoctorado, un postdoctorado súper corto, y hoy precisamente comencé un trabajo nuevo con el Consejo Nacional de Investigación de Canadá en conversión termoquímica. Pero bueno, solo quería darles como un poco de como mi background, para que entendieran un poco de cómo es todo el asunto. Entonces, Pablo me ha pedido que les explique un poco de cómo yo llegué acá. Entonces, ¿qué tal fue estudiar acá en Canadá? Voy a comenzar con eso. Para mí la experiencia fue súper interesante. Es un país súper acogedor a pesar del frío. La gente es demasiado querida, demasiado amable, hay demasiada cultura acá. Y en realidad para mí fue muy fácil adaptarme, pues salvo ciertas cosillas por ahí. Lo que más me gustó de Canadá, en realidad, fue la gran multiculturalidad que hay acá. Digamos, no sé si ustedes sabían, pero Toronto ayer fue, creo que fue rankeada, si se puede decir así, o calificada como la ciudad más multicultural del planeta, con 230 nacionalidades. Entonces, pues es algo que tienen que tener en cuenta. Es una experiencia súper chévere estar acá y conocer a gente de todo el universo, básicamente, pues de todo el mundo, de Nepal, de la India, de China, de Colombia también, de Perú, de Brasil, de todos lados he conocido gente y pues eso en realidad agranda el mundo y agranda como la comprensión de lo que uno tenía pues cuando estaba en Colombia, porque digamos en Colombia no hay tanta inmigración como lo hay acá. Em, pues sí, y aparte de eso, pues fue muy gratificante también pues graduarme y pues yo la pasé súper bien durante los 5 años. Pero bueno, entonces, muy, pues avanzando un poco más, de los retos o de las cosas más difíciles que yo encontrar, que yo eh, encontré al llegar a Canadá, ni siquiera fue empezar, ni siquiera fue llegar, fue más que todo como encontrar un supervisor. Ahora, yo no tuve la oportunidad que ustedes están teniendo aquí de tener a Caldo para que les ayude. Yo en realidad lo que hice para encontrar un supervisor fue mirar las universidades donde yo quería estudiar, muchas de las cuales pues están ahí en la lista que Pablo les dio en toda la presentación. Y lo que yo hice fue empezar a buscar en los diferentes departamentos de ingeniería química profesores que tuvieran entonces como eh, intereses de investigación acordes a lo que yo estudié, que es básicamente pues ingeniería bioquímica. Entonces, yo empecé a enviar correos a todos los profesores que yo encontraba y que tenía como, pues que yo creía que tenía potencial para brindarles algo. Básicamente yo lo que les enviaba era un correo diciéndoles como, me gusta mucho lo que usted está investigando, yo tengo algunas ideas y pues esto es lo que yo he hecho, en esto ando, mi tesis en ingeniería química fue esto, en microbiología estoy haciendo esto. Y así fue como conseguí básicamente mi supervisor. Yo fui muy afortunado y básicamente me gané una beca completa acá. Entonces, infortunadamente no les puedo responder ninguna pregunta acerca de Colciencias, ni de Colfuturo, ni de nada de estas cosas, porque en realidad no sé mucho de ellos. Sí, entonces, pero por ejemplo, Western da la oportunidad de poder estudiar y de tener todas estas becas que son geniales. Entonces yo básicamente tenía pues el doctorado pago y tenía como una mensualidad que me giraba también la universidad. Entonces eso fue súper entretenido pues, y súper bueno también, pues saber que no iba a salir con ninguna deuda al final. Y una cosa que es muy importante y que deben saber es que, digamos, si ustedes se quedan en Canadá y si tienen toda esa plata que se invirtió en la matrícula, en pagar libros y en todo eso, al final sirve como créditos en los impuestos. Entonces uno no paga impuestos por cierto tiempo. Entonces, si ustedes deciden cómo venir, tengan en cuenta que esos créditos les pueden servir si se quedan acá en Canadá. Eh, Otro de los retos que yo encontré acá fue también como ajustarme a la vida de Canadá, ¿no? Uno en Colombia, eh, pues es como muy, es diferente. La gente acá, pues uno tiene que, en Colombia somos, no sé, es como es difícil de explicar, pero acostumbrarse a cómo tratar diferentes culturas, cómo trato a esta persona, cómo la trato a este y cómo encontrar un punto medio para poder saber cómo tratar a todo el mundo, fue algo con lo cual como que tuve no, alguna dificultad, um, pero, pero en realidad fue, pues después de unos meses ya todo súper bien. Eh, Otra de las cosas también que yo dije como, uy, será o no será, o el reto más grande, o uno de los retos también fue como eh, saber si yo era capaz con las clases. Entonces, digamos, pues no es el idioma de uno no nació con inglés, uno pues ha hablado en español toda la vida, y entonces yo estaba eh, como sí, medio asustado en realidad de llegar a clase y no saber entonces, a ver si iba a entender o si no iba a entender. si iba a entender los diferentes acentos de las personas, qué tal son los compañeros para trabajar y todo eso, pero en realidad fue súper chévere al final, porque después de un semestre conocí como mi grupo de trabajo, que fue, pues, por lo menos durante 2 años. Y, qué pena. Y bueno, y sí, no, eso fueron como los retos. Básicamente, otra cosa súper importante es también como balancear el estudio con la investigación, con con la vida normal, o sea, como tener ese balance correcto de tiempo para que uno como que no se enloquezca. Eh, y ya, básicamente, las ventajas de estudiar en Canadá, si alguien ha hecho investigación en Colombia, yo pues trabajé con la Federación de Cafeteros y interesante trabajar allá, pero digamos, y también en la universidad cuando estaba haciendo mi tesis, digamos, los insumos, las materias primas, era súper difícil de cómo hacer un presupuesto y ordenarlas y que llegaran y todo este asunto. Acá en Canadá era completamente diferente. Entonces, eso fue súper interesante porque pues yo estaba acostumbrado como a hacer un presupuesto y todo el asunto, pedir los insumos antes de empezar los experimentos. Y acá uno hace eso, pero la planeación no es 6 meses antes, sino que puede ser 2 días antes. Uno pide las cosas y le llegan a los 2 días. Entonces, en realidad, los recursos es algo, yo creo que es la ventaja más importante que tiene un país como Canadá, que además acá, pues, producen las cosas o las producen en Estados Unidos, entonces la importación, eh, pues, no se demora nada, entonces es súper bien. Eh,
Uh, Luis, sorry, just to ask you a question that probably will help some of the people that are asking questions. When you received your scholarship, can you clarify the scholarship that you received was given to you by the supervisor using its research funds, or was it a different scholarship from the university or from the government of Ontario or Canada?
Oh, ok, sure. So, ok, entonces la beca que yo obtuve fue básicamente, es una beca, había varias partes de para el financiamiento de esos fondos. Parte venía del dinero que mi profesor tenía, mi supervisor, y parte venía también de la universidad. Entonces eran como dos componentes, pero y ya, eso es básicamente la beca, pero no era ninguna entidad gubernamental la que me financiaba directamente. Yo fui, básicamente, a mí me ofrecieron un trabajo y, y me pagaban el tuition o la matrícula, un monthly o pues una mensualidad de tanto dinero. Eh, eh, Pablo, did I respond to your question?
Yes, yes, and for you too. How did you get your scholarship? So what was the process? What did you have to do to get the scholarship?
Oh, sure. So, básicamente, para conseguirme la beca, a mí me la ofrecieron desde el comienzo. Muchas de las universidades acá en Canadá eh, ofrecen una beca directa cuando uno es un estudiante de posgrado. Entonces, digamos, en Western, en donde yo estudié, si uno lo aceptan allá, a uno le dan la beca automáticamente. Pero entonces el problema es entrar y el problema es conseguirse el supervisor. Eh, Básicamente, eso fue como conseguí la beca.
Okay, okay.
Did that clarify your question, Pablo?
Yes, and every year you had to meet any minimum requirements to keep your scholarship. So, for example, a certain grade average,
Oh,
or
yeah. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Entonces, para mantener la beca, yo tenía que tener un promedio por arriba del 70%. Y en realidad, pues, no fue nada complicado. Es súper fácil de hacer. 70%. Uno piensa que 70%, pues como califican en Colombia, es muy difícil, pero digamos como califican acá, las notas son un poco más infladas.
Okay, okay, that's good.
Sí.
Oh,
Any more questions, Pablo?
So one thing that I would like to know is some people are asking, what is the role of the supervisor? So can you explain a bit what was the role of the supervisor during your PhD?
Yeah, absolutely. Entonces el papel de mi supervisor fue básicamente guiarme durante todo el proceso del doctorado. Entonces, yo me vine acá a Canadá, yo fui aceptado a un programa de maestría. Después de un año, de 3 semestres, yo entonces hice lo que llaman el fast track a doctorado. Entonces yo nunca me gradué de la maestría, pero me gradué del doctorado después de 5 años. Y el papel de mi supervisor en todo momento fue básicamente el papel de un mentor. Entonces, si yo tenía algún problema, si yo tenía alguna pregunta, si yo tenía como una nueva idea, entonces pues yo iba y consultaba con él y ya, pero él fue como mi guía durante todo el proceso de mi doctorado y fue el que siempre estuvo ahí ayudándome a través del proceso. Yeah.
Yeah, and the supervisor, one important aspect to highlight is that the supervisor is mandatory for a PhD. You will need to have a supervisor. So it's not possible to do a PhD without a supervisor, because it will be the person that will guide you, or like Louise was saying, that will assist you throughout the whole research project that you will need to do, and in the end will also be present at the thesis defense that you will need to present.
Ya, sí, entonces digamos, hay diferente, yo apliqué a la Universidad de Alberta, yo apliqué a McGill y yo apliqué a Western. Y en todas, digamos en Alberta, en el 2010, cuando yo estaba aplicando, allá uno lo admiten, uno hace ciertos cursos y después uno escoge un supervisor. No sé cómo será ahorita. En Western y en McGill, uno consigue un supervisor desde antes y uno se va de Colombia con un supervisor ya. No es como en Alberta, pero no sé cómo será en estos momentos, en realidad.
Okay.
Sí.
So, Luis, Claudia is asking, how do you get in touch with the supervisor? So, I can answer in general. So usually supervisors receive a lot of emails from prospective students. So one of the ways it's that you can just send an email, and hopefully you can get a reply from the supervisor. Another way is through the professors from your school in Colombia that might know some people in Canada. And obviously the way that we are also proposing here is via CALDO. So CALDO can also be a source of information for supervisors. Louise, in your case, how did you contact the supervisor? Did you knew anyone before arriving in Canada, or did you met them while you were here?
Entonces yo contacté a mi supervisor, básicamente yo mandé correos y correos y correos y correos a todos los profesores que a mí me parecía como interesante lo que ellos estaban haciendo. Y muchos me respondieron, muchos no me respondieron. Y hubo uno solo que me ofreció una entrevista. La entrevista fue por Skype. Yo me entrevisté con él durante 45 minutos, básicamente. Y después de la entrevista, entonces él me dijo que cuando aplicara, que entonces pusiera el nombre de él en la aplicación y de ahí en adelante, ya cuando yo llegué a Canadá, básicamente me encontré con él en la universidad.
Okay. Can you hear me, Luis?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. There was a silence. I don't know if
no. I was just like wondering if you were going to say something.
Yeah. No, one of the things that I was also wondering is the following. Some people here are asking questions about immigration and how it was to get your papers to come to Canada. Can you give a bit of an overview? What was the process that you had to do to get your papers to come and study in Canada?
Yeah, absolutely. Bueno, entonces, para los papeles, en el 2010 era en realidad, según lo que yo he oído de la nueva gente que ha llegado de Colombia, pues lo que a mí me tocó era mucho más fácil. Entonces, yo lo que hice básicamente fue completar toda la lista de papeles que me pedían en la embajada y eso básicamente es una carta de aceptación o de la universidad, básicamente, pues, o la oferta de la universidad con ciertos formatos que hay que llenar que están en la página de la embajada y todo eso básicamente yo lo metí en un sobre y lo dejé en la embajada de Canadá en Bogotá. Eh, no sé cómo sea el proceso ahora, pero estoy seguro que debe ser por el estilo y siempre van a pedir una carta de oferta y siempre le van a pedir a uno también como aún así uno tenga una beca, a ellos les gusta saber que si esa beca un momento no llega o algo así, que uno puede responder o que uno tiene algún medio para poder, de dinero, o pues para poder entonces eh, mantenerse por el momento. Did that
Yes.
answer the question?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's an interesting aspect that it's important to highlight. So when you don't have a scholarship, when you don't have a beca, if you want to come and study in Canada, you will need to show proof that you have enough funds, enough money to pay for the time that you will need to study here. Okay, so that's something that, so you can show bank statements, you can show savings, you can show things that prove that you have the financial means to study in Canada for the number of years that your program requires. I'm just gonna use this last few minutes. We have 4 minutes, just to answer some questions. Matteo is asking, what is the role of Colciências? I understood that the scholarship is offered by the universities, right? So Matteo, we have both options. We have both situations. Colciências is an agency from Colombia that issues, that gives scholarships for doctoral programs to study abroad, for Colombians to study abroad. Another thing is the scholarships that our universities offer. So like Louise was saying, Louise did not came to Canada with a scholarship from Colombia. He was able to study here with a scholarship from one of our universities. So in the end, you will have both options available to you. However, usually the scholarships from the universities are much harder to get than the ones from Colciências or the ones from your home country. Julian, Paulo, some universities will give financial help when the student is admitted. A scholarship like Colciências will substitute or add to the financial aid offered by the scholarship by the university. No, usually, Julian, the Colciências scholarship is very good. So you will have all the necessary money that you will need just from the Colciências scholarship. So you will not need any additional funding from the university. If you have funding from the university and it's not enough, I'm not sure if Colciências can cover the portion that it's missing. So if Colciências offers more money, I don't know if they would cover the differential. You would need to go and read the terms of the scholarship, because that's something that I have not been asked before. David is asking that he doesn't have enough financial funding of his own. So David, obviously this is one reason why we are doing the webinar right now, because Colciências has an open call, and also Col Futuro, if you're thinking on applying to master programs, Col Futuro is an excellent source for money for master programs, okay, since that Colciências does not finance master programs. Obviously you can also try the financial assistance from our universities, and obviously if you're a student with good grades, if you have a solid research project that you would like to do, professors might be interested in working with you, and they could give you financial assistance. Is there any scholarship for postdoctorates? So Luis, Colciências at the time, they don't have postdoctoral scholarship, but I think that, I'm not entirely sure, but I think with Col Futuro you might have the opportunity to request funding for postdoctorals. There's also another source of funding in Colombia called ICTEX. So these two, Colfuturo and ICTEX, can also be a source of funding for postdoctoral programs. Nelson is asking, if I do not have the YELD score required, is it possible to study precisional? So all of our universities offer, all of our universities have language schools, so they offer language programs. Obviously, if you want to study English, it's possible. The only thing is that you will only be given a final admission letter once you meet all the requirements. So imagine, for example, that you come to Canada and you don't yet meet the minimum English requirement. So you go to study English. So it's very important. It's essential that you will be able to meet the minimum requirements at the end of the program. Obviously, universities usually have programs aimed at making sure that students are successful. So it's very likely that you will be able to meet the criteria for the language requirements. But this is just for you to realize that it's not enough just to come and do the course. You really need to meet the minimum levels at the end. Santiago is asking if CALDO gives assistance about scholarships available in different universities. We can definitely put you in contact with universities, and they can give you an overview of the financial assistance that they may provide. But since in Canada, universities offer a lot of different financial aids, we don't have information for all of them, so we will need to put you in contact with universities. Lida is a current student with a Conscience Scholarship. Can I do a short stay at the Canadian University? Well, Lydia, if your scholarship allows you to come to do a visiting research, for example, as long as you will find a supervisor in one of our universities, you can definitely try to get in touch with them. So feel free to contact us at the CALDO office to explore any possibilities of finding a supervisor in Canada. Do I need a master's degree to apply for a PhD? Although it's not written in stone that you will need one, it's highly desirable that you have a master's degree, Julian. The PhD programs are highly focused on research, so it's unless you are able to prove that you have very high skills for research, it's difficult to gain admission in a PhD without the master program. So Natalie is asking a question to Luis. ¿Cuánto custa el proceso de traslado a Canadá, Luis? So Luis, if you want to answer using the microphone, feel free.
Okay, I just replied to her on the comment.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. No, pero básicamente yo me demoré 6 meses desde que conseguí un supervisor hasta llegar a Canadá.
Okay, okay. So Santiago, Luis, la universidad participaron 4, ahora son 9, que son las que vieron en la presentación. Sí, yeah, okay. Yeah, so the 9 CALDO universities are the one that are, I think you can still see the last slide. It's 9 universities that are part of CALDO, and like I said at the beginning, they all represent all areas of knowledge possible. It's highly unlikely that you will not find a program that you're interested in one of our universities. So we are now past our time for the webinar. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to come and hear us in this webinar. I would like to give a special thanks to Luis Luque for taking the time to share with us his testimony, and it was really interesting to know the experience that you had studying in Canada. Tomorrow I will be sending you the materials of this webinar along with some information, general information on immigration website, a site for scholarships in Canada, also the site for the Consciências scholarship. So thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of the evening, and please feel free to send me an email for anything that you need, because that's what we are here for. So thank you so much, and hope to see you or to hear back from you soon by email or by any other means, calling or reaching out to another webinar that we might be doing. Thank you so much. Thank you, Luis. Enjoy the evening.
No problem. You too. Take care.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.